Howdy everybody out there in YouTube land. Today we're going to be doing more talking. We're going to do some magic, but we're going to try to talk a little bit more. We're both trying to emulate, but also diversify in the sense that there's things that people do that are successful that we want to copy, but there's also our own personality that we want to put the spin onto. So for that purpose, we're going to be doing a video where we're going to be talking. We're talking all of our videos most of the time. But today we're going to be doing some cups and balls. But we're going to be walking through the phases. But we're not going to try to teach it. We're just simply going to try, because you can check that out in my membership section for 99 cents a month. Any of the tutorials that I have up there, anything that I learn out of books, anything that I spend time trying to learn, I will put it on there for you. If it's somebody else's effect that is still relatively new or marketed, I will send you in the direction of those people. In this case, this was a trick that I learned from the Mark Wilson course in magic, which I have sitting right in front of the computer, right here. This book was originally recommended to me by Doug Kahn. I'm sure if you're watching me, you're very familiar with him, either because, well, he's popular, or because I talk about him all the time. So he recommended this to me. This is a textbook. It is literally a textbook. If you only learned all of the stuff from here, and only this, you could probably make a living at magic. Just saying. So keep that in mind. That book in and of itself is a gold mine. It is the only thing that you'll ever need. But today is not necessarily about teaching you the trick behind the magic, but it's talking about the performance of the magic. So talking about the phrases that I use, or talking about the way that I carry the magic through the entire example. So something that I have been trying to work on is speech etiquette and articulation. These are very important things. When you're performing and you really want to convey your point, you make eye contact, whether it be with a crowd of people. You use your hands in a very specific way. Your voice becomes very direct, and you take pauses, not so much so that you can think about it, but it's good to do that in order to think about what you're going to say next. But it's also important so that whatever point you just made, the audience has a chance to catch up with what you're saying. Because if you're rushing through everything that you say and you're not giving any pauses or not giving anybody time to think, then you start to lose what's important. So it's not to say that you can't do that, but it's to say that you need to know when and where and why to do that. So let's go ahead and talk about cups and balls. We're going to talk about the penetration phase, which is the first phase, and why it's so important to really work on the performance aspect. Now, there's a couple of different ways of performance. There's thousands of different ways of performing. Millions. Should have done the billions, then millions, to, the reference. But that's okay. We're impromptu here. That's what we do. We talk about stuff, we do magic, we have a good time. So we have the cups and balls. There are 3 cups and there are balls. So obviously if you know the trick and you know the reason why, then you know. If you know, you know. So the first part is basically just setting up. And I say that as part of the routine. So one of the things that you want to avoid is you want to avoid saying what you're doing. However, it depends on how you say it. You ever hear that? It's not what you say, it's how you say it. So look at this. Oh, after doing that, I say, there we go. Boom. No, don't worry. The magic hasn't started yet. I'm just getting set up. So I've made a joke, and I've kind of played light at the situation that 3 balls have appeared. I mean, based on what I just did, this doesn't necessarily need to be a magical moment. You don't need to say or do anything about this, but I merely just stated, hello, hold on, we're just getting started. It's okay. It is okay. Now we're gonna do something here with this little ball here. And you can say whatever you want to do. There's a couple of different. I'd say that there's packs of threes, right? There's 3 balls, so there's 3 sub categories or sub phases to this phase, which is the first phase of the trick. So now, as you come through, you're going to stack up. Now, this is the first part where I say something else. It melts through. It melts. Melts through. As quick as that. It melts through. Great. Now we're stacking up again. This time, it's going to cascade down. It's already done. Roly-poly-oly over here. Almost fell out of the chair. So that can happen. Just don't make sure it doesn't happen in like a live performance. That'd be good. Okay, so what is this ball? Oh, that goes... Wait. Getting confused. So there should be 2 under there right now, right? Should be 2 right there. That one cascaded. The first one melted. The second one cascaded. Okay. Now the third one isn't going to go through 1. It's going to go through 2. Okay. This one, use the wand if you want. This is for you in the back. That brings us back to where we started. Now the magic has happened. And that's the first phase. That's penetration. But those, you can work it down. So let's say we were to go back to the original setup, right? Okay. So the original setup is quite simple, right? Done. And I may or may not have given away anything about how it's done. I just restacked the cups. Now let's go ahead and do the phase, and we're going to do it try to do it as cleanly as possible with the performance and how I do it. Howdy, howdy. So today we're going to get started with some nice cups and balls, right? Ha-cha. In order to get started, we're going to need 3 balls. So hold on. Magic hasn't started yet. We're just getting set up. The first one's simply going to melt through. It's done already. The second one is going to cascade down. Keep an eye out. It's quick. It's quick. Now the third one is going to not go through 1, but it's actually going to go through 2. And this is for you in the back. That brings us back to where we began. 3 balls and 3 cups. Boom. So that's like that's the full first phase. And so I've said something, also conveying the importance of what it is that I'm doing. I give the illusion that something different is happening every time. So there's really a very... And there's, like, again, there's so many different ways you could do that. I could narrow it down. I could say nothing. Make sounds, noises, faces. Anything, really, to convey the performance aspect of what you're doing. If you want to be more mysterious, you can be more mysterious. Wear a mask, cloak, all of those things. If you want to be more on the comical side, then go ahead and do that. If you want to interject little jokes into it, you can do that. But as this cups and balls routine builds, that first phase is powerful. It goes into a second phase and a third phase and then a fourth phase. Now, what's nice about this and what I really love about this particular setup is that the fourth phase is optional, first off. When you have options, that means you can modify and you can customize to your persona, your personality. So something like what we said is, if there's something successful that somebody else is doing, that's great. Capitalize on that. Go ahead and get invested in that. That way you can join the group and become successful. But you also want to add in your own personality, your own little spin. You want to make sure that you're niching down, or you're also gaining attention as yourself, or whatever the gimmick or whatever the thing is that you want to portray, your brand. So in this case, that's really beautiful about the first three phases of this is the traditional cups and balls. The fourth phase, where it is traditional, is also very easily modified to fit your brand, your persona, your personality, your spin on magic. Allows you to customize that fourth phase to fit you specifically. It's beautiful. Now let's jump into the second phase and potentially finish out this trick. We're not going to deep dive into the rest of it because I think you get the idea about the performance aspect and why it's so important to articulate your dialogue. Very important. Communication is one of the greatest skills that you could possibly have. I can't say it's the greatest because just like with most things are situational. So obviously if you're in a communicative state, which is basically stating, I need to communicate, you probably want to have that skill. However, if you're in the woods with no people and you know there's a bear, communication can be important there, I'm sure. But there's some things that you probably need, other skills that you probably should have. I'm just saying. Unless you can really sweet talk that bear, more power to you. But I saw the video online. The guy kicked him and punched him a couple of times. That's all I'm saying. Just probably throw some hands, gain some ground, gain the high ground, as they say in a lot of things. So this is the cups and balls, right? This particular ball, I don't like. Why? Well, he looked at me funny. I don't know. So I'm going to make that disappear. It's gone. It's gone. Hold on. It's gone. Reappeared under the cup. Wowzers. Okay. Probably not fooling anybody with that performance. I didn't actually swallow anything. But that's the performance, right? That's the performance piece of what we do. Is the performing part of it, right? Now, try a wand flip. Ha-cha! I tap the cup for dramatic effect. It's gone. If you were here, I'd have you choose between the other two cups. I would probably not have you choose the middle cup because, there's no point. But since you're not here, and I know which cup it's under, boom, it's going to be cup number 3, and that's going to be 2 balls. Ha-cha! Okay. Again, this is the pesky little guy that I don't like. He's gone. Just kidding. He's gone. And reappeared over here. 2 balls. One there, one here, and one here. As you can see, without throwing it all over the place, there it is. That's phase number 2. I don't remember the phase after the penetration phase. Moving on. So the ball's under the cup. There's no magic there. Just want to point that out to you. Whether this is part of the trick or not, just you watch me put it under there. So if you're amazed that it's under there, you can use that as part of the thing. Like you've just covered them up. You said something maybe profound or like you're building for the next thing, and then you stop and say, "Ha-ha!" You watched me put it under there. Like just, play around with the audience. Take some time. You can have some breathing room here. And then this is when you can really start to develop something of interest where you, I see here that we have a ball. I don't like this ball. No. Squish it. Squish it. That's all. I don't know. Now you're just playing around, right? You pretend to put the ball in your pocket. I say pretend. I'm giving it away now. Again, if you're here, I always say this. So you get to a certain point in my videos, and then you start learning magic just by being around, because I'm teaching you performance, but I'm also showing you magic. And right now we're doing a deep dive into, not even a deep dive, I would say doing a surface level conversation about cups and balls, both on the performance side, what type of situations may come up during different parts. So if you're joining us just now, which probably shouldn't happen because it's live, I clicked on this video the other day and I just decided to jump all the way to the end. just to see what happened. I don't know. So you have the ball here. Boom. Goes into the pocket. It's great. It's grand. It's beautiful. Of course, you know what's going to happen next. The balls are going to jump back. No matter how many times you put them in your pocket, the ball jumps back because it's magic, right? Yeah, it's in my pocket. It's kind of a pocket, I guess. It's a shirt pocket. Because I'm magical, right? See the unicorn? And it says I'm magical? Yeah, it's great. Now you're probably wondering, when are we going to have the balls reappear? Well, here, the ball. Haha, the ball. See that? It's a fly ball. It's a high ball. It's a ball. So, one ball is, I guess you can call that a single, right? I mean, you could also get a home run with a single ball. Not really big on the sports. I know that two balls, though, that's a triple. Yeah, it's a triple. But it's not enough. No, it's not enough just to have three of them. You gotta have a pair. You gotta have four of a kind. Wand for dramatic effect. I don't know. So, cups and balls, this is the final phase, and this is where the customization can come in. Because I brought it up, so I want to actually show you what I mean by that. You can have 4 different balls here. You can have 4 different kinds. You can have different kinds of balls. You can have whatever you want here. You can have a sponge heart, or sponge hearts or something. Haha, heart pieces. I don't know. Have fun with it. That's the point. You can customize this part of the trick, and you had so much breathing room there. That's the beauty about the 4th phase. You control the timing for most of the trick. That is true. But the individual phases should have consistency and continuity to them. And so as you go into the next phase, you're going to want to make sure that you're pacing yourself really nicely. And when you can take breaks, take them. Let the silence build. That's when you're going to really start to create the dramatic effect, the magical moment for people. Because the longer... So one of the principles to follow is you have to distance yourself from the magic. Which basically means that on the point of the wand, you have, this is the moment that you did whatever it is that you were going to do to create the magic. This is the method here on the timeline. This over here, this is the magical moment that's being created. So now from here to here, there's all of this space in the middle. That doesn't mean it's downtime. It doesn't mean it's dead time. It just means that this is the space where the trick is happening. And then at the end, they're going to think back. They're going to be like, well, when did they do that, right? When did they do it? Was it here? Here, right? They might not think about this moment that happened way back here. So distance yourself from the magic. And so that way the magic moment, when it happens, is just beautiful. You know what I'm saying? The magic. That could probably have done better. I could have actually led it with a beautiful analogy where I, did something better. I don't know. We're just having fun here. So this is Cups and Balls. Cups and Balls is a trick that I think that you should have in your repertoire, even if you don't plan on performing it, really. I think that you probably should perform it, just to be honest. But here's why. Let's talk about the important things here. You have the practice over here on the side. Practice, perform, promote, right? Well, the practicing side of things is this. This here is very simple. So, for instance, if I were to get my card down, and I were to do a trick, which basically leads into me getting a card. We have a card selected. That's going to be the 6 of hearts here today. I'm going to take that card, spread out the deck, and we're going to put it somewhere in the middle. Beautiful, right? Now, these are the Nebula playing cards from Emily Slight's 52. So, of course, we're going to make a galaxy reference. So, no matter how far in the galaxy away it gets, it will always come back around. Just saying. So what does that do for us, right? So there's card tricks, right? There's different types of card tricks. There's sometimes you'll do card tricks that string together that just, it's like it's all card work. Well, what's nice about the building of the phases for this is that you're changing the range, angle, and plane, right? This is a self-defense thing that I learned, rap, right? You want to control the range, the angle, and the plane, right? Which basically, in any interaction that you do, whether it be fighting or favorability, like an interaction or a conversation, create the distance between yourself and your spectators so that they're getting a good show. If they're too close, it might be cramped. They might be seeing things. If they're too far away, they can't see anything. So find the perfect range for them. Call spectators up. Make sure that you control their positioning so that they're not blocking the rest of the show. Very important. In this case, that's great. The angle of it, again, talks about their eyes. Where are their eyes looking? And the plane. Whether you're sitting or standing, or they're sitting and standing, you have to figure out what's working best for everybody. And the separate phases here work really well for learning how to pace yourself, learning how to, what dialogue that you want to use for your magic, what works, what doesn't work, how to get rid of filler, and how to really enjoy the moment by being able to change it up if you need to. And the more you practice, at least for most, the more you practice, for myself, like I'll see somebody doing magic online, and I will get ideas about how I would go about doing it, or not changing it for the better, but just what would work best for me. And I get these ideas about it. I don't always get these. So if I get these ideas about something, I like to get them. I like to pick them up and try it out. So, cups and balls. Nice conversation. Like I said, we're going to be doing a little bit more talking in this one, talking about performance, talking about having conversations, talking about how to deliver those conversations around the magic trick. So, one of the important things that I would say here is that, and this is the biggest takeaway, if you want to be a performer of magic or anything, you have to perform. You have to practice your performance. And I'm there in that stage where I'm trying to get started. So I truly believe, based on everything that I've learned, and this is something that, if you watch the Magic Guys, Conor O'Craig, I believe that's how you pronounce it, I do apologize if that's not right. He is a Renaissance Fair magic performer, but he's a street performer. He performs on the streets and stuff. And they made an excellent point, and I love this. Love it, love it, love it. I'm at the beginning of this journey. And so learning from people who have actually become successful in that industry from that perspective is brilliant. It's beautiful, right? So what he said is that he went to the Renaissance Fair and was crushing it. Like, he's getting crowds and billing and just all week, just busy, big crowds. He'd come back home to the streets and get barely anything. And he's like, what's going on? Last week I was on the high, this week I'm on the low. And another friend of his that was working Renaissance, he's like, you're only that good because you street perform. Normally, it's hard on the streets because let's be for real. And this is something that we've talked about before with the difference, like if you're watching a video, if this video is brought to your attention by YouTube, you may not have made it this far in the video. But let's do a test. I'm going to do a test. If you've made it to this point in the video, go ahead and comment down below, baseball. Just put the word baseball down below. And this, we'll see whether or not you made it here. But my point is that if this video was suggested to you because you either, one, watched my videos, or two, watched similar videos, and you've made it, this is theoretically the end, we're winding down, you comment baseball down below, boom, that proves that theory. It proves that suggested, like you can comment below, if you're here and this video was, it just showed up on your thing from YouTube, recommended, look at you. Look at you. You're the star. You're the star. Put that down below. Say, baseball, I came to watch. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you stuck through it, and you're beautiful. You're a creature of just epic proportions, right? I dub thee, Yosemite. Like that's you're great. I'm just saying, like, just imagine that. Just imagine being a person that you're scrolling YouTube, minding your own business, right? And my video shows up on your reel, whether it be long form, short form, whatever it is, and you're watching this particular video, and you get to that point, and you say, oh, he wants me to comment baseball down below. Oh, well, I guess I have to really point out the fact that I don't know who he is. I don't really watch Magic. It wasn't suggested to me. It was just YouTube picked it up and put it into my feed. I'm going to go ahead and watch the whole video. Just imagine, the capacity on this person is amazing in today's society. You really, I must have really piqued your interest and must have done something right. And that's what we're looking for. And that's amazing. And it's also amazing, again, that if I'm doing a video like this and I'm talking about cups and balls, and we get to this point, and you're still watching here and now, and it was suggested to you, that's phenomenal, because that means that we have a relationship of a kind where, whether that be through the Magic community, or whether that be through as a, we are YouTube friends and the sorts that you watch my videos, and that we have a connection there, and that you're watching my videos. This is amazing. It's amazing. And I love that interaction. And I comment all you want. I will comment to everything. I will respond. I will heart. I will do whatever. I will communicate with you, because that's what the community is about. If you're interested in Magic, if you're interested in talking, if you're interested in anything, please feel free to let me know. And don't forget to check out the Heretic brand that I'm going to link down below. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. I want to support the local creators. And remember, always remember, stay positive. I didn't forget. I forgot. Stay positive, stay active, and stay awesome. And we'll see you in the next one.